For the Orange and Black, the injuries started in the spring and early in the season, threatening a positive start to their title defense. But two of the Giant stars are doing their best to keep the defending champs on track, as Angel Pagan and Buster Posey are a 1-2 punch in the middle of the order. Every game will be a test, and tonight it's no different in the final game of the series, Giants D-backs, and it's coming up next.
One more game here in the desert as we come to you from Chase Field. This is the final game of this 3-game series, Giants and D-backs. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the winner wins the series, and there's a lot of ways we can go with this. Maxwell's playing, Duffy's playing, but really the story is Chris Heston.
Well, Chris Heston, he came to camp this year, and really he wasn't pitching for a spot because there were no spots. He was pitching to let Bruce Bochy know that if somebody went down to injury, he was ready, and he had a great spring. Somebody has gone down. He'll get the ball tonight. He's no baby. He's 27 years old. If he's on tonight, he's going to throw a lot of ground balls, and let's hope those ground balls find gloves.
All right, Buster Posey at first base, Hector Sanchez behind the dish. Stay tuned. We'll take you to our Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. By Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability and resale value. Toyota, let's go places. And by DraftKings.com. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com with the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Enter promo code ORANGE for free entry.
The Diamondbacks have taken the field here at Chase Field as we get ready for Game 3 of this series. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The boardwalk is open daily for spring break, now until April 12th. 77 degrees, winds are calm, humidity at 11%, and the roof is open for the third night in a row, which is a good thing. All right, let's take a look at Bruce Bochy's lineup for the rubber match of this series. It'll be Aoki, Duffy, and then Angel Pagan. And you see Pagan with a 13-game hitting streak against the D-backs. It'll be Posey in the cleanup spot, followed by McGee. Maxwell gets a start, and then Crawford. Hector Sanchez will hit 8th, and Chris Heston, the rook, will hit 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Arizona Diamondbacks will be the right-hander Jeremy Hellickson. Hellickson, 6'1", 190-pounder. 27 years old. He's in his 5th year at the big league level. Former Rookie of the Year in the American League in 2011. And this is what he did last year. 1-5 with a 4.52 ERA. Missed the first 3 months of last year with the same surgery that Matt Cain had in the offseason to remove bone chips in his elbow. When he's right, you're going to see a low 90s fastball. He will sink, he will cut. He's got a great changeup. And basically, you're going to see a lot of fastball changeup combinations. He does have a curveball. That's his best breaking ball. Gets lefties out better than righties. Wow. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Hellickson. Starting in the D-backs outfield from left to right, it'll be Peralta, Pollock, and Trumbo. Pennington and Lamb will patrol the left side of the infield. Owings and Goldschmidt will be on the right side. Gerald Laird gets his first start. He'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Nori Aoki as he steps in. The Giants won on Monday 5-4. Arizona won last night 7-6. First pitch of the ball game is a called strike to Aoki. So we get started at 6:40, right on time. Aoki is 3 for 10 in this series. In at third is Lamb. And another strike. Here's your umpires. It's Drake behind the plate, then Walcott, Cedarstrom, and Cooper from first to third.
Rob Drake, the plate umpire, I mean, he likes the low pitch, but you'll see some high strikes. Very consistent strike zone.
And that 90-mile-an-hour fastball is high. It's 1-2. Only 2 Giants in this lineup have any history against Hellickson. That's McGee and Maxwell. And the 1-2 delivery. And it's down low, 2-2.
Yeah, the thing too about Rob Drake, I mean, he has his strike zone. You saw that exaggerated set with a target from Gerald Laird, the catcher for the Diamondbacks. You can set up in the outside corner, miss the catcher, but if it's on the inside corner, you'll still get the pitch from Rob Drake.
And a base hit to left field for Aoki, and that's how this game gets started.
Well, he waited well with that changeup.
He almost hit that like he knew it was coming. So here's Matt Duffy, who gets his first start of the year. He does have a pinch hit in this series. But last year, you see, he made a name for himself at 267. Played in 34 games. So Hellickson out of the stretch, and Duffy with a bunt, third base side, and it's kicked around, and everybody's safe. Well, I think it'll be a sacrifice. You can't really punish Duffy.
Well, it should be a sacrifice and an error.
I would think so.
Well, now they've ruled it a base hit. Am I reading that right?
Well, no. No, you're not reading it right.
Well, if Hellickson lets the ball go, I think Jake Lamb, the third baseman, has an excellent opportunity to make that play, and it indeed would be a sacrifice. So now they have put it up there. Indeed, it is an error, but they still have to consider giving him the sacrifice.
Yeah, and they announced that they did.
That's the right call.
So here's Pagan. Pagan off to a really nice start. He's 4 for 8 on the season. And he hacks at the first pitch and fouls it out of play. Buster Posey on deck, just underway here in Phoenix. Giants will get on a plane after the game and head to San Diego. Interesting to see if Padre fans sold any of their tickets to Giants fans over the weekend.
We will find out.
Inside corner and a quick 0-2 to Pagan.
Hellickson will cut and sink the fastball. Giants have had good fortune the last 8 series against these Diamondbacks. They've won all 8 of them. So tonight's game decides the winner of the series. Trying to keep that streak going.
Could be playable for Lamb, but it will not be. It's about 5 rows back. No Brendan Belt. We saw Belt before the game. I guess he did take some swings in the batting cage. And even though Bruce Bochy said he could possibly pinch hit tonight, I would say that that would be doubtful. And another 0-2 pitch. And this is playable to left for Peralta. 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Say this, it looks like Hellickson likes to throw strikes.
Well, he works a quick pace too, even with men on base.
Buster Posey 3 for 7 in this series. He hit a home run in the first inning last night. He's got 3 runs batted in. And this will be the first time he's ever faced Jeremy Hellickson. And the first pitch is wide. 1 ball and no strikes. Casey McGee is on deck. Not the same size crowd tonight as we saw last night, and over 22,000 was announced last night. 1-0 to Buster Posey. This is the home run yesterday. Came on the first pitch.
Little sinker, runs right inside corner, knee high, and he just golfs it out. Looked like he was on the first tee at Pebble Beach. First home run of the year. First hit of the year.
(3-0), and he was on the first tee this year at Pebble Beach.
Yes, he
couple of
was.
times.
Yes, he was. Played in the AT&T. Had a ball. Said he'd go back next year. He says, yeah, if it doesn't conflict with spring training, I absolutely want to go back.
(3-0). And swinging 3-0, fouls it out of play. He was in the final foursome, wasn't he?
Well, he was in the group that won it, which was the second to the last group.
Right.
But I mean, very exciting time for him. The fact that you made the cut as an amateur was pretty exciting. His partner, Nick Watney, they had a great tournament.
And now Hellickson will spin around and chase Nori Aoki back. Watney, a Giants fan, correct?
Indeed.
Posey waiting patiently. And now everybody's ready. And the walk. So here's McGee. McGee does have 2 lifetime at bats against Hellickson. He's 0 for 2. He's 2 for 7.
Chris Heston working on his game face. He looks ready.
Swing and a miss.
And that's the changeup from Hellickson. It's a good one.
That will kind of mess you up on the first pitch.
Well, the Diamondbacks have been pitching McGee with a lot of soft stuff in this entire series.
See, McGee does have good numbers with the bases loaded. Tapped off his foot, foul. And it's a quick 0-2. McGee looks like he thinks that broke his bat, so the bat boy is going to come out.
With the effort to try and speed up the game, a lot of pressure on the bat boys.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got to have a bat in hand for every hitter that goes up there and takes his at bat. Should a bat break in the middle of a bat, like we've seen here with McGee, he's got to come right back out with his new bat.
I think part of the deal is the bat boys have to be fast.
Fast.
In on his hands, and he fouls it out of play.
He almost broke another one.
That pitch may set up this next changeup.
Fly ball situation for McGee. Best arm for the Diamondbacks is in right field. It's Trombone. It takes a while to get rid of it.
McGee in the swing mode right now as that's into the Diamondbacks dugout, so it remains 0-2. And it did look like it was the changeup. Justin Maxwell watching from the on-deck circle. Got him.
So he changed location with back-to-back fastball inside, and here goes outside. And in the protect mode, he expands his strike zone and swings at probably what would have been a ball. You see the reach. So in a strikeout situation, Hellickson gets what he needs.
So here's Maxwell, who's had 1 at bat this year. He's 0 for 1. On the ground, and this should do it. So Hellickson's going to get out of the inning. Giants leave him loaded. Heston's coming out. Chip Hale's lineup. It'll go like this. A.J. Pollock will lead things off, followed by Chris Owings and then Paul Goldschmidt. Peralta, the cleanup hitter. It'll be Trumbo, Lamb, and Laird if you go back to Lamb. He's got 7 RBIs in the first 2 games. How about that? Pennington will hit 8th, and then it's Hellickson.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Chris Heston. Heston, a rookie with 27 days of experience. He got called up last September. 6'3", 195-pounder. He is 27 years of age. And when you take your at-bats against Heston, you're going to see a fastball that has a lot of good sink. He'll get a lot of ground balls. He'll also cut it. He's got a curveball, slider, and a changeup. Very good changeup, and he'll throw anything, really, anytime. Saw the numbers last year: 12-9 at Fresno with a 3.38 ERA. In his 6-year minor league career, twice he led the league in ERA. Did it in San Jose in 2011, then again in Richmond in AA in 2012. Has a 3-to-1 strikeout walk ratio throughout his minor league years. Over 700 innings, in fact 765 lifetime minor league innings. And that's a lot. You learn to pitch in that much time.
And a first pitch strike to Pollock, who's 1 for 6 on the season. And he hits Pollock.
Let's check out the defense playing behind Heston tonight. Starting the Giants outfield from left to right will be Aoki, Pagan, and Maxwell. Crawford and McGee on the left side of the infield. Duffy getting his first start of the year, joined by Posey on the right side of the infield. Hector Sanchez, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Chris Owings with Pollock now at first base. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
If you're playing on the left side of the infield with Heston on the mound, you better be ready, because you're going to get a lot of ground balls coming your way.
Pollock last year had 14 steals. He was thrown out 3 times. And Heston is going to throw a ball down the right field line, and now you've got a guy on third. How'd this start out?
How we do it? I didn't really envision this type of a start. A hit batsman, then a wild throw to first base, and an easy take at third for Pollock, who runs well. So jitters, yeah, I'd have to say, you bet. Giants are going to play the defense back in the infield. They're just going to try and prevent the crooked number until this young guy settles down.
So it's 0-1 to Chris Owings. And on a breaking ball, he hits it off the end of the bat foul.
You can understand the adrenaline that's rushing through his arm right now. And a lot of adrenaline will give you a bit of a numb feeling in your arm. You don't have quite the feel in your arm until that adrenaline wears off. And to a degree, you really don't know where it's going, and he's shown that twice.
Hit on the ground to Crawford. Crawford will make the play. Coming in to score is Pollock. And the Diamondbacks lead 1-0.
So with the infield playing back, Owens doing a good job. Just put it on the ground in the middle of the diamond. Nice at bat.
That was a free one.
Yep. That was a run for free. Hit batsman, error.
Here's Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt takes a strike.
It's good movement with 93 miles per hour behind it. When we saw him pitch in spring training, we didn't have a center field camera to be able to see all the movement. We just saw all the ground balls that were being hit.
Foul back.
One thing he did real well when we saw him was move the ball in and out. he didn't have quite the juice flowing through his body that he has now. I mean, it'll wear off after an inning or so.
Goldschmidt is 2 for 6 in this series.
You know, you talk about the call-ups of September and what they get exposed to and what they see. And Heston, rather, when he got called up last year, he realized that he needed to beef up a little bit. He put on 10 pounds in the offseason.
Look out as that gets away. It's 2-2.
I can't see where this is going to be a very comfortable at bat for any right-hander with the movement of the baseball coming in towards him. They set an outside target, and that's just a heat seeker, and it almost clips Goldschmidt. Remember, he missed a lot of time last year with a broken hand, getting hit by a pitch.
Got him. Well, you throw the one pitch that doesn't look like he has any idea where it's going, and you come back and you throw this pitch.
Backdoor sinker that absolutely nails the outside knee-high location. That's a rough at bat right there.
So here's Peralta. Peralta's only hit in this series went over the fence in the game yesterday, as he taps this one slowly to Buster Posey, and it's fouled.
Talk about the weight that has to put on in the offseason. I mean, he hit the gym. I mean, he really worked hard. He knew he had to get stronger. The start that he had last September, I mean, he just didn't look strong. I mean, he was tired. But he is definitely down to another strength level. Last night, the big blow of the bat came off the bat of David Peralta against Ryan Vogelsong. A 3-run blast, one of 2 3-run homers Vogelsong gave up.
And the 1-1 to Peralta is tapped to Crawford, who has to give ground, gets rid of it quickly, and that'll end the inning. Crawford, Sanchez, Heston coming up.
Is brought to you by Bay Area Mini.
An early lead for the Diamondbacks without the benefit of a hit. And here in the second, it'll be Brandon Crawford to lead things off. And a look at the inner bowl here at Chase Field. Crawford hit his first home run of the year last night, hit it to the opposite field. And he goes the other way and hits it foul.
All right, time now for our AT&T U-verse rewind. Last night, Brandon Crawford hits his first home run of the year, goes opposite field gap off Ruby De La Rosa. Did that in the 6th inning. Remember last year he hit 10 home runs, and that was a big boy going oppo in left center, especially in this ballpark. He just got impressed with a changeup.
Hector Sanchez watching from the on-deck circle. It's 0-2. What's up, Turlock?
Hey, what's up, Turlock? Home of Dave Dravecki.
Here's the 1-2 delivery to Crawford. Outside, 2-2. You saw earlier the numbers for Crawford last year. The impressive number is the 69 RBIs. And a base hit to left field for Crawford.
Well, he tomahawked that.
Yes, he did.
Watch the top hand. I mean, that's right across the letters, and that is a flat swing going the opposite way, which is how you're supposed to hit Hellickson. He's got movement that runs away from the lefty.
Here's Sanchez, 1 for 2 on the season. And he takes down low with Chris Heston on deck. Dodgers and Padres will get started here very shortly. It'll be the final game in that 3-game series. Each team has won a game in that series. Two and 0. The Dodgers come here, and the Giants will go to San Diego. It's the home opener for the Padres tomorrow.
Giants get to see 3 openers this year. One here in Arizona, one in San Diego, and of course their own on Monday when they get off the road trip.
Mighty swing by Sanchez. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, for Hellickson, this will be his 30 pitch already. Crawford with a pretty good lead at first. And it's 3-1. So if you're Hector Sanchez, you have to think that this pitch is going to be a pretty good pitch to hit.
Should be.
You cannot walk Sanchez with the pitcher on deck. So I have a feeling that Mr. Sanchez is going to leave his shoes if this is a strike. And I think that's exactly what Bruce Bochy would like to have him do. Tapped slowly. Hellickson is going to go to first. Probably not the results that Hector Sanchez wanted on that 3-1 pitch.
He's out front. Hellickson is not going to give into a fastball. not when he's got as much confidence to throw the changeup that he has. And remember, Giants are seeing him for the most part for the first time. The only guys who have had at-bats against him, and it's, I mean, really not even that many at-bats, are Casey McGee and Justin Maxwell. So first time through the lineup, they're all learning him. But we do know one thing about Chris Heston. He can hit.
On the ground. And Heston retired. So here's Nori Aoki, who singled to open up the ball game. Does not have an RBI and could pick up his first one right here.
Good changeup. The hardest pitch to look for. Hard because even if you're looking for it, it's not always an easy pitch to stay back on and do something with.
That's exactly right.
Well, if his belt buckle needed shining up, it just got shined.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, right at the waist. And I don't know how he got out of the way of that. So, Aoki escapes a bruise.
Comes back low and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Duffy would hit if Aoki reaches. First base is open. It is Hellickson's birthday, by the way.
And Larry Baer is celebrating his birthday today.
Base hit left center field. Here comes Crawford. Aoki into second base with a double. By the way, I want you to know that that did not go unnoticed. I do Hellickson and you do the boss.
Yeah, he likes me better too, big boy. Another good opposite field approach here. The movement running flat away from Aoki. You try and hit this or pull it. You roll it over to second base. You stay inside it, let it get deep, and you throw it to left field. Second time tonight he's had a base hit the opposite way against Hellickson. And this one ties the score. So Larry Barry, that hit's for you. Henry Schulman having a birthday today.
Well, that offsets Larry's.
Henry, the beat writer for San Francisco Chronicle, follows the team every day.
Duffy, fair ball down the right field line, and here comes Aoki. And Duffy's got a double. He's had a number of those in spring training, and he pulls it off here.
Well, I'm beginning to believe that his bat control is just exceptional because he saw Paul Goldschmidt playing way off the line at first base. We're going to make it our Ford right choice. And as you pointed out, we saw Duffy use the right side of the field a lot. Inside, out. He's had one at bat against Hellickson. He knows he's got movement coming into his hands and just fillets one right past the bag. And the Giants take the lead. Nice at bat. Again, good bat head control. Our Ford right choice. How about that? That was for Henry. Who else is having a birthday?
Well, I got a gift for Larry that I'll give to him on Monday. Did you get one for him?
Yeah, what'd you get him?
I'm not telling you. Give you a chance to one-up me on that?
Well, I got him with the little bird left on the rock, so I don't think he's going to be too enthusiastic.
So here's Pagan. What is Larry, 35?
Maybe 37.
Yeah.
Are we negotiating this year?
No, not yet. Sure sounds like it, though. Pagan hit a fly ball to left. He's 0 for 1. And he takes low. Buster Posey on deck. Giants with 3 hits in the inning, 2 doubles. And Hellickson comes in with a strike.
Now you're really not thinking about the curveball. He doesn't throw it that often. It's usually the fastball changeup combination. But when he throws it, I mean, he has the confidence to throw it behind the count 1-0. Great way to steal a strike.
Left center field. Pollock got a good jump, and he'll track it down. Giants score twice. Heston will take the field here in the second, and he's got the lead. Mike was there, so was I. Will Clark hit a home run in his first big league at bat, and he just didn't hit it off by anybody. He hit it off of Nolan Ryan, and there's the Neusler look. I'm the man.
Hit it off of Nolan Ryan in the Astrodome, and he took on center field. That just did not happen.
There was like 3 things there that you just didn't think would happen. Here's Trumbo. By the way, I mentioned it to you when Bob Brenly was in here. It's the 50th anniversary of the Astrodome tomorrow, and I thought I'd mention that just in case Hank Greenwald was listening.
He loved the Astrodome.
Yeah, he did. And that pitch is down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Trumbo 2 for 8 on the season. He's got an RBI. Both hits are triples. What is that?
He's got 2 types of breakup balls, and that right there was a little curveball. It's got a slider. You see that at a higher velocity, around 85, 84 miles per hour.
In the dirt, 2-2.
See the hitter's background, the batter's eye here in this ballpark is one of the best in all the big leagues. Everybody who hits here loves to hit here because they see the ball so well.
Crawford Throws out Trumbull. Well, the Dodgers make their first visit to San Francisco to close out the first homestand, April 21st, 22nd, 23rd. The Tuesday and Wednesday are both 7:15 starts. The final game's day baseball. To purchase tickets, go to sfgiants.com/tickets. Here's Jake Lamb.
Yeah, good chance they'll be there. If not, they'll be watching.
If they live here and they got the MLB package and they watch the Giants, I'll bet that they wear those shirts.
Yeah, good call.
On the couch. Yep.
I think they put those shirts on in April and they take them off in October.
Well, they might have 2 or 3 of the very same kind. 1 ball and 1 strike. Perfectly happy. Grandpa wears the hat very well.
Yeah, he's an old player. He wears that hat well too.
Crawford spears this one down to a knee.
Well, Giants have just not figured out Jake Lamb. Even his outs are loud.
Well, they kept him in the park.
Got a little height on that sinker laid out there at the belt, middle away, and he went right with it and just hit a bullet. And Crawford takes his glove out. I think he's massaging some life back into his glove hand.
Here's Gerald Laird, who takes a breaking ball for a strike. You must have, come on, your All-Star game was in Houston. You pitched in that game. You must have lots of love for the Astrodome. Come on.
Well, I remember that particular opening day in Houston when Nolan Ryan was pitching. I was pitching for the Giants that day. I was the benefactor of that home run.
Hit out to right at Maxwell. How did it turn out?
We won that game, I think 4-2.
There you go. And the Will Clark chapter began.
Is brought to you by Amici's East Coast Pizzeria. When you want the best pizza in town, Amici's delivers.
The Giants, with 2 runs in the second inning, lead the D-backs 2-1. And here in the third, it'll be Posey, McGee, and Maxwell.
Got his headphones on.
He's ready. Buster Posey drew a walk in the first. And a breaking ball for a strike. Ricochets right to McGee.
And a lot of guys have different ways to set their posture in the batter's box. If you watch the right elbow when Posey gets himself up in his posture position, it's right there in perfect line with his shoulder.
In the hole on the backhand is Owens, and his throw is in plenty of time.
And the idea behind it is to set your shoulder high because you want to maintain a high back shoulder in your swing. That gives you a level swing. And for Posey, he's looking to backspin the ball when he hits it, and that's where he gets his carry. But it is just a little checkpoint that he uses to get himself balanced and in the box with good posture.
I said Owens on that last ground ball. That's Pennington. Owens is at second. Here's McGee. And a first pitch strike. Yep. Massive dad duty.
He's the happiest guy in the ballpark. What are you talking about? I don't blame him.
I don't know. Maybe mom is.
Yep, that's a happy family.
Do you think that little girl's going to have red hair?
Yeah.
1-1 pitch to McGee. 2 balls and 1 strike. Justin Maxwell on deck. Swing, ain't gonna miss. McGee with the bases loaded in the first inning and 1 out, struck out. Down the left field line, and this is going to hook foul.
You know, when you see a guy come back to his home where he grew up to play for the team that he rooted for as a kid, I don't care if he is a veteran, and McGee's that, you always hope that he gets off to a good start, because the longer you go without getting some big hits or getting some RBIs, the more you start to press. It's all about finding the comfort zone, and I think it's a little harder to find the comfort zone in the town that you were raised in.
And he got him again.
Well, Giants going to take on the Rockies. Say Hey Tuesday, 7 p.m. Yahoo Sports Talk Live from the Plaza at 5 p.m. Pregame live at 6:30. You can see that at Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Say Hey Tuesday is back. First 500 fans will get a cheer card and a World Championship foam fist. So get out there early. His family will be there.
Here's Maxwell, who bounced out to end the first inning. And he taps this one foul.
I mean, you came up with Cleveland, but you remember when you had to go in as an opposing player to play the Brewers in Milwaukee, how it
bit of a distraction.
Major. For me, it was coming back to Los Angeles, and it's the playoff game for you.
0-1 pitch is in tight, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Especially the first few times you do it. But all the guys who I ever played with that were from the Bay Area and came back in and played for the Giants and put that uniform on for the first time, it was tough for them to hit the comfort zone.
1-2. Well, there were tickets available in Milwaukee when I went back. Maybe not so much in LA when you went back.
I had to leave 40 tickets the first time I got back to Los Angeles. They put them in the upper deck, and I never got asked for a ticket again. It was awesome.
2-2 to Maxwell. Jeremy Hellickson. And the 2-2 pitch. And there's a bolt into center field, the base hit. And that'll bring up Crawford. Crawford singled to open up the second inning and eventually scored on the Nori Aoki double. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, that's a good changeup. I can see why he likes to throw that more than his curveball.
Hector Sanchez would hit if Crawford extends the inning. And that pitch is in tight. My dad had two. My dad ended up being in charge of the tickets when we went to Milwaukee, but he had 2 rules. 1, you couldn't complain about the seats, and 2, you couldn't cheer for the Brewers. And if you found out you did either one of those, then you got erased.
You were off the list.
You were off the list. Two and 1 to Crawford.
Well, I think those are good rules.
Yeah, I do too.
I used to have guys I'd go to high school with saying, well, I was rooting for you to have a no decision, but as soon as you came out of the game, I was rooting for the Dodgers to win. It used to tick me off. They got off the list quick.
Oh, absolutely. Crawford pulls it foul. It's 2-2. Nice play down the right field line.
Yep, found a good home. Usually a foul ball with a young kid like that locks him in to be a baseball fan for life. But it looked like that kid, he's already a fan for life.
I think so. Crawford, foul. Easy. Take the roller skates off.
Now they call their ball dudes golden oldies here. And they don't give them a uniform, they give them some khakis.
Yeah. He flipped that ball and a Giants fan intercepted it. And the Giants fan knew exactly where it was going. It was going to a kid with a D-backs t-shirt on. And he gave it to him. 2-2. Hit into center field and struck well. Pollock back. Pollock at the wall and he makes the catch. He can go get him, folks.
Now he takes one away from Brandon Crawford. That had extra bases written all over it. Coors Light. The Giants have won 8 straight series here at Chase Field. The last lost series happened in April of 2012. Last time the Giants won 9 or more straight series on the road against an opponent. Well, it happened in 1903 to 1907 at the Boston Bean Eaters, who became the Boston Doves and then became the Boston Braves. Giants won 13 straight series against them.
Here's Pennington. That series in 2012 was the opening series. They got swept. And they went to Colorado and had Barry Zito opening up on a Monday. And he threw a complete game shutout. And then Mario Eliotto took us all out to dinner.
And bought the wine.
And he bought the wine.
The Boston Bean Eaters. Why would you change your name if you were the Bean Eaters?
I don't know, Mike. It's just not a good name.
I disagree. I don't think it gets any better than that. Ooh, good pitch inside corner. He tried to bring that fastball by way of the front door. Heston thought he had a strikeout. Go right back in there again, too.
Pennington is 0 for 1 on the season.
Victor Sanchez wanted to backdoor that breaking ball in the outside corner.
Tapped slowly. Duffy to Posey. Moments ago, we mentioned it was Hank Schulman's birthday, so Andy Bagley and the beat writers, along with Jim Moorhead, surprising Henry with a birthday cake. And I think they put a big weenie right in the middle of the birthday cake.
I think it was a birthday hot dog.
That one.
Yep. And that is the beast.
Come on.
7,000 calories.
Come on. You know they sell a gluten-free one of that?
Yeah, that's right. Well, let's get it.
Does gluten-free mean that it takes the guilt away from eating stuff?
Well, we better not ask Henry. Right now, he's not going to give
Henry,
you an answer.
you're killing me.
He didn't like the cherry seed.
Henry's going to the electric chair at 8 o'clock.
He's got to put it down.
What, did he just spit out the calorie part?
That's just the stem from the cherry. That's all I can think of.
Tapped over the mound. Crawford's going to get to it. And he throws out Jeremy Hellickson. And that'll bring up Jay Pollock.
Center field, A.J. Pollock.
That's, if you keep the camera on Henry long enough, it's kind of like keeping the camera on a 5-year-old. Especially when there's food involved.
Well, happy birthday, Henry Schulman.
Absolutely. Does a good job. Those guys work their tail off. They do not have the benefit of getting on a plane like we do tonight.
That's true.
We'll get on a plane tomorrow morning to go to San Diego.
Some will drive over.
That with the late great Nick Peters used to do. He drove to a lot of towns, St. Louis, Chicago, to get in the car and take off.
We lost Nick earlier this year, and he is sorely missed. He was a great man.
Pollock now behind 1-2.
Heston has 8 outs in this game. 5 have been ground ball outs, 1 strikeout. But that's what he does. I mean, the beauty of movement, the beauty of putting it on the ground, especially when you have a good infield behind you.
Got him. Second strikeout through 3. Giants are leading 2-1.
Madison Bumgarner's historical 2014 postseason performance. And the way we're going to do it, well, the first 40,000 fans will receive a bobblehead commemorating Mad Bum's NLCS and World Series MVPs, courtesy of AAA. You need tickets? Go to sfgiants.com/tickets.
There's Madison Bumgarner. And here's Hector Sanchez. Sanchez, Heston, and Nori Aoki. And Hector's going to open up the inning with a base hit. So that's going to put Heston in a spot where he's going to be asked to bunt.
Well, as we mentioned before, he's a good hitter. Now, I would imagine they will put the bunt on here, but you might see a play put on as well. They have that much respect for him to handle the bat. Now, given this is his first night, you might not see that, but at some point this year, you will see him put on a hit and run, and they know this kid can handle the bat. Bunt should go down the first baseline here. You cannot bunt it hard. Goldschmidt is a good thrower. You do not have much speed at first base with Hector Sanchez.
Instead, foul down the third base line.
He can swing it. You saw him in a game against the Dodgers this spring. Hit a double off the wall in left center off Zach Greinke. And, I mean, it was one of the hardest balls hit by the Giants that day. Good athlete.
And now he shortens up to bunt. And it's a bunt and run. That's how you help yourself if you're a starting pitcher.
Well, it really is. I mean, you have to do those little things because, you know, a lot of games are decided by one run. And, you know, when you can move a runner up, put him in scoring position, that run comes in, you've had a lot to do with it. And it could give you the win. It could be the difference in a no decision or a win.
Well, plus he had to at least foul that off because Sanchez was running, and it would have been an easy out at second. So here's Aoki, who's 2 for 2. And he takes low, 1 ball and no strikes. Out to the mound goes Gerald Laird.
I'm not sure Gerald Laird felt too comfortable, and maybe that Hellickson threw the wrong pitch on that particular call. So Laird, go out, talk about the signs with the runner at second. Or maybe he sensed that Hector Sanchez had got the signs.
Could have been. Those tricky catchers.
Well, Laird's been around a long time. This is 11th year. He was in St. Louis with Tony La Russa. La Russa brought him over to the Diamondbacks.
We had an old tricky catcher come in here before the game, Mr. Brenly, and we must have laughed hard 8 times.
Bob Brenly, who's the analyst on the television broadcast for the Diamondbacks, and a great friend. It was a lot of fun.
And the walk.
I don't think he wanted any part of him. I think he had an open base and used it. Well, time for our Togo's Big Play. The Togo's way. We go back to the 2014 NLCS Game 2. Matt Duffy scores the game-time run in the 9th inning with 2 outs from second base on a wild pitch. And that, folks, is instinct, and that is our Togo's Big Play, the Togo way.
See, the Flan man had him going the whole way.
That was a huge play, obviously, the winning run. Think any bigger than that.
So here's Duffy. Duffy taps it foul. That tied the game, and then the second baseman hit the walk-off, Colton Wong. No balls and 1 strike.
There's Bob Bridley.
Hey, Bob.
Great catcher. He was the manager of the Diamondbacks in 2001 when they won their world championship.
He said he found his niche finally, and that's being a grandfather. So it took him a long time to figure that out.
Yep.
On the ground, and a diving play by Lamb. He will sling it to first. Not in time. They're loaded for Pagan.
It's going to be a base hit for Matt Duffy. Little jam shot. They had Jake Lamb playing way off the bag. All he could do was knock it down. And when he finally got to it with the bare hand, not a whole lot that he could get on that throw.
He's covered both lines, hasn't he?
Really has.
He had a double down the right field line in the second, and now the base hit down the left field line here in the fourth.
Mike Harkey, pitching coach, coming out. There's nobody throwing down in the bullpen, but you think they're having a yoga class out there, the way everybody's stretching out, moving around.
Daniel Hudson is the one playing catch right now. So Pagan, an opportunity here with the bases loaded. Buster Posey on deck. Pagan has hit 2 fly balls in this game. Inside corner strike.
Well, Giants will take a fly ball right now, deep enough the outfield.
They will.
But it's got to be pretty deep. It can't be a medium or short fly ball with Sanchez at third base. He does not have great speed. Pretty good arms on the corners in the outfield with Peralta and Trumbo. The most accurate arm is in center field with Pollock.
Out of play, 0-2.
There's Daniel Hudson.
Hudson pitched on Monday. Oh, 0-2 with 1 out and the bases loaded. Sanchez, Aoki, and Duffy. A 1-2. That's right where the target was.
I think that's just to clean the palate. I don't think he wanted to throw a fastball in that strike zone. I think he wants to try and strike him out with a changeup. But it is a strikeout situation for Hellickson.
Hit on the ground. Goldschmidt's got it. He comes home for 1, and that's all they'll get.
That's a pretty nice play from Gerald Laird, the catcher for the Diamondbacks, to reach way to his right and keep that foot in contact with the bag to get the force.
Indeed, a nice play by Goldschmidt.
Let's take a look at the Gold Glover Goldschmidt. Very quickly gets up, a little bit of an errant throw, but Laird's still able to stay in contact with the bag, so they do get the 1 out. But I think when play started, they thought they might have had a chance for a double play. Not to be.
So here's Buster Posey. Buster fouls it back.
Giants have threatened every inning. Scored 2 in the second, but Hellickson has spent a lot of time in the stretch tonight. 75 pitches with 2 outs here in the fourth. That's a lot.
Posey waiting patiently on Hellickson. And that runs low and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. In tight, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Stand on that inside corner. You see the target from Laird. Trying to use that movement. The fastball will bore into a right-handed hitter. They're trying to get in tight and jam Posey. That's not an easy thing to do when he's swinging the bat well.
Right to Goldschmidt, and that'll end the inning. Giants leave him loaded. It's 2-1.
Used or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
All right, time now for our Geico quote. This one comes from Ryan Vogelsong. The Giants lost last night. He says, anytime we score 6 runs, we should get the win. Those guys deserve a win.
Yep, I'm sure he wore it all day and night.
He was not happy today. He gave up 2 3-run home runs last night, and that was the difference in the game.
Here's Chris Owings, who bounced out and picked up an RBI in the first inning. Goldschmidt to follow. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Oh, that's big movement. I mean, it almost looks like a left-handed slider. That hard fastball was sink boring in on the right-handed hitters.
Duffy on the backhand. Looking for the best coverage of the Giants? Log on to csnbarrier.com as insider Alex Pavlovich provides wire-to-wire reporting of the 2015 season. Breaking news, video, special features, only on csnbarrier.com.
Richard Rillia and Amy G, Sean Estes, and Alex Pavlovich.
0-1 to Goldschmidt. And Heston stumbles. They just make sure he's all right.
He said, I'm good. It's just these new shoes. I'm not quite got him broke in yet. Just catches his heel just a bit outside, as Bob Uecker would say. Get to the big leagues, you get new everything.
Everything. Outside, 2 balls and a strike.
But you hate to waste a pitch, especially when you have an 0-1 advantage against a hitter like Paul Goldschmidt.
Peralta to follow. This is the 4th. And the walk.
Did not miss by much. Get the ball back. Check your middle infielder. See who's covering the bag. Know your assignment if you get a comebacker.
Just outside to Peralta. Peralta bounced out to Crawford.
Got to pay attention to Goldschmidt at first base. He will steal. You look at him and you think, nah, he's not a base stealer, but he will go.
Heston really hadn't thrown out of the stretch much in this game.
Has not.
And that's a shot into center field. That'll be a base hit.
And that's the first hit that Heston has given up tonight.
So here's Trumbo. Trumbo bounced out to Aurelia, or to Aurelia, to Crawford.
Used to be Aurelia. Patrolled that area.
He loved playing here, didn't he?
He did. He really did, and he was good.
Weston rubs up a new baseball. Good break the ball. Nothing in 2.
Been a lot of shutouts in baseball so far this year. There have been 5 more tonight. Been 31 completed ball games so far this season, 12 of which have been shutouts.
Wow.
So offenses around baseball looking to get started, and some of them have just not been able to crank it up.
High down the right field line. This is going to get into the seats. The pitch was right around chest high to Mark Trumbo.
Looks to me like Mark Trumbo's in the swing mode right now.
Yeah. Got him.
Good breaking ball. Third strikeout for Chris Heston. Set up on the outside corner. Started in the outside corner and let the movement fall out of the zone. And Trumbo in the swing mode says, just missed it by about a yard.
Here's Jake Lamb. Lamb lined out to Crawford. And that pitches to the back leg.
And they threw a fastball on the outside part of the plate and they left it up around the belt. And Lamb really did put a charge into it. The way he's swinging the bat right now, you have to make good location pitches to him. Because he has great balance in the plate and he's not getting fooled.
And Heston will spin around. Down low, 2-0.
That bite, seen it too big. Saw the graphic. Lamb, a rookie, 7 RBIs in the first 2 games. I mean, it's something that just hasn't happened a whole lot in the history of baseball. He's hot.
3-0. Heston might use that base that they have.
Well, with 2 outs and an open third base, you absolutely can use it. You got a right-hander, Gerald Laird, the catcher on deck. Giants know that Lamb has been way hot, and the Diamondbacks will turn him loose here, 3-0. They're just looking for him to get something good to hit.
And the walk.
Not the end of the world. So Hector Sanchez is going to call timeout. Go out. Pump up his young right-hander.
Catcher,
Heston, 27 years old. Hector Sanchez, 25 years old.
Laird hit a fly ball to right field in the second. Buster Posey, side retired. D-back strand 3. McGee's going to lead things off.
first homestand of the 2015 season. And on April 15th, which is a Wednesday, 7:15 start, the first 20,000 fans will receive a 2014 World Champion Snow Globe featuring the triplets, the 3 World Series trophies, courtesy of Comcast Sportsnet. You want tickets? Go to sfgiants.com/tickets. Yeah, put your orange on, head out to the yard.
Yeah. Here's McGee. McGee's having a hard time picking up Hellickson. He had a tough time picking up De La Rosa last night.
It's been a steady diet of soft stuff, especially on the first pitch. And he is hacking.
Rolls this one foul. Oh, 2 pitch. Here it is with Maxwell on deck. And that pitch runs in tight. 1-2. Stays away to McGee. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Stays soft too. He pitched it backwards last at bat when they struck him out, and they finished him off with the fastball away. Soft stuff early, hard stuff late. Same way they pitched him last night.
On the ground, off the diving Lamb. And McGee's going to have a leadoff double.
Yeah, he waited well on that one. So a steady diet of off-speed stuff, and finally he stayed back. A little bit of reach, still enough bat head on it to rake it down past Lamb. High backhander, good luck with that. He did well to get a piece of it.
Here's Maxwell. Maxwell bounced out in the first, singled in the third, and a line drive into center field. Blowing in, 1 ball and no strikes. Brandon Crawford on deck.
See the label on the glove of Hellickson. It's got the gold Rawlings label. It tells you that he was a Gold Glover. Did that in 2012.
Big swing and a foul at home plate.
I think that's a pretty subtle thing that's very cool. Just sort of separates the great fielders when you've won a Gold Glove, and Rawlings has figured out a way to let everybody know about it.
Pitch runs into Maxwell. Adrian Gonzalez has hit his 4th home run of the season.
Wow.
In 11 at bats.
So he's on pace to.
Yeah, he's on pace to hit a lot.
360.
Three and one.
Keep going inside. I mean, that's where you're supposed to pitch a guy 6'5", and Maxwell, to his credit, spitting on him.
See if Maxwell takes a good rip on this 3-1 pitch. On the ground to second. Owens will throw him out. It is a productive out. McGee moves to third, and here's Crawford.
Hellickson has been in the stretch all night long.
Has he? caught a big break with the line drive that Buster Posey hit. It was right at Goldschmidt to end the fourth inning with the bases loaded. So infield now comes in. And Crawford waves at one in the dirt, and it's 0-1.
And a changeup to start out the at bat. Lots of activity in the bullpen for the Diamondbacks. Next pitch Hellickson throws will be number 90, so he's had a workout. And as we mentioned before, most of it's been in the stretch tonight. 4 times the Giants have been able to get that leadoff hitter on base. So far, they've only been able to score 1.
Foul. 0-2. Crawford broke his bat. Hudson again throwing in the bullpen for the Diamondbacks. Crawford with a base hit to right field to knock in McGee.
In an 0-2 count. Nice at bat. And for the second time, the Giants have been able to plate a hitter or a leadoff base hit.
Yeah, just don't load the bases.
And that is just a hanger right there. You're way ahead in the count 0-2, and that's the type of pitch that tells a manager you're tired, and that's going to be his last pitch.
Looks like a double switch. Laird is leaving. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts. We'll be back. And the new pitcher is Daniel Hudson.
Daniel Hudson, right-hander, got a good hard sinker. You'll see loaded bit 90s with velocity. Numbers last year, don't pay a whole lot of attention to those. He's throwing the ball well right now. He's got 3 pitches, the fastball with lots of movements and velocity that we mentioned, the slider and a changeup. Big guy, 6'3", 235-pounder.
And he'll face Hector Sanchez with Crawford at first. And Heston to follow.
Talk about the numbers for last year for Hudson. You don't pay much attention to him. He's one of those rare guys. He's had 2 Tommy John surgeries. Last year coming back from it, but he's throwing the ball well again.
And Sanchez doesn't waste any time. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
The thing about Hudson's Tommy John's is he had him back-to-back years.
And do you think, Mike, that's why they're using him out of the bullpen?
I think so. I think maybe they fear a high pitch count with him, but you've got to handle him with kid gloves. I mean, I don't think they're going to run him out there 3 days in a row out of that bullpen, at least not yet.
I wouldn't think so. Oh, and 2 and a throw to first, and Crawford's back.
Choking up the bat.
Way outside.
If you're pitching against a guy and you see him go up the bat and choke in a 2-strike situation, you kind of know he's not going long with the swing. So he's making some adjustment, taking some swing out.
Got him.
95-mile-an-hour front door sink. And out of the hand, Hector Sanchez saw this and thought this is going to be a ball inside and watched the movement come back on that inside corner. Right between the knees. And Pacheco, the catcher, barely had to move his glove.
So here's Heston, 0 for 1. He had a sacrifice bunt in the 4th. And he'll bounce this one right back to Hudson. And that'll end the inning. So nice job by Hudson to quiet things down. Giants do pick up a run. Bottom of the 5th coming up.
Worn during the ring ceremony game on April 18th are now available exclusively at any of your Giants Dugout Store locations. Don't miss out on this limited edition collection. All the 2010 and 2012 gold jerseys sold out, so get yours now. That's the majestic gold jerseys and the new era on-field gold cap on sale right now at the Giants Dugout Store, and that is a good-looking uni. I like those. I want to get that, I want to get that, I want to get that.
Here's Pennington. Pennington 0 for 1. 2 balls and no strikes. Jordan Pacheco is on deck. Remember, he came in on the double switch. So Heston does not want to fall behind 3-0. This should be a strike. And it's not. It's 3-0. Three and 1 to Pennington.
That'll get him back in the confidence mode.
Down the right field line, a fair ball. And Maxwell will get it back into the infield, a leadoff double.
Second time tonight that the Diamondbacks have gotten that leadoff hitter on base.
Here's Pacheco. Up the middle. Heston knocks it down. And he'll throw him out.
Oh, that's a big out right there. I mean, a non-productive out. And Pennington has to freeze in second. In a 2-run ball game, that's a big play. Pacheco going right back up the middle. One hopper in the boiler. Heston gets it, checks the runner. He gets the easy out.
So here's Pollock. Pollock takes a curveball for a strike. He's starting to steal strikes with that breaking ball.
Well, I think because of the movement of his fastball, they're all thinking about that pitch early in the count.
Tap to Duffy, and Duffy will make the play. On the play, Pennington goes to third, and here's Chris Owens.
I mean, but that's the beauty of not being able to advance that runner.
That's a run.
That's a run right there. Had Pacheco been able to get the runner over, it's a 3-2 ball game.
Owens has bounced out twice. And there's that breaking ball. No balls and 1 strike. It may have been that Owens was sitting on it too.
You know, for really not having caught Chris Heston a whole lot, Hector Sanchez has really utilized his stuff tonight well. He's mixed it up, especially on that first pitch.
Nice block by Sanchez, and that saves a run. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Now, breaking balls are predictable. You know they're going to come back to you. Go down, cover up that hole between your legs. If you keep that ball in front of you, you're going to freeze that runner. Good job indeed. See the pitch count. Next one will be number 69. Really got extended in the 4th, but that's really been the only inning. If you're going 15 or less, you're doing your job. One and 2. So 2 breaking balls, and he throws 91-mile-an-hour sink by him in the outside corner. Yeah, I like that call. Sanchez called a fastball in, but Heston shook it off. So they're going to start over. You might see Sanchez go back to that fastball in because it is set up. Most of this at bat has gone away. So now he says, bounce that curveball. I'll block it.
Got him. 4 strikeouts for Heston. 6th inning coming up, in the top of the order coming up. And before the ball game, you see Jake Peavy.
Well, he passed all the tests. He had a 15-minute session. He was cutting loose. He'd been having some back problems, and spent some time with the chiropractor. They worked out a couple of kinks, and he went out there and he was pain-free. So no DL for Jake Peavy. He'll probably pitch that Sunday game in San Diego.
Aoki been on base 3 times, 2 hits and a walk. And he takes high. It's 2-0. And Hudson comes in with a strike.
Every pitcher we've seen tonight has had good sink on the fastball. Hellickson, who started it off for the D-backs, Heston, and now Hudson. And it's always October.
Way out in front, 2-2.
Good changeup.
Aoki can spoil those type of pitches all night long.
It looks like he steps in the bucket and he's got 2 steps down the line, and he can still extendo out to the outside part of the plate and foul off fastballs moving away from him. I don't know how he does it.
Does it again.
Well, one thing's for sure, he didn't have a whole lot of backswing.
Well, you always encourage our Giants fans to bring a glove to the park.
Yes, I do.
If Aoki's hitting. Make sure you put it on if you're sitting down the left field line.
That's for sure.
And another foul ball.
So what do baseballs cost? 15, 20 bucks?
Yeah.
This is becoming an expensive at bat.
It is.
They'll rub up 12 dozen baseballs for every game. Anytime a ball goes in the dirt, gone.
Hey, back in my Cleveland days, if you were a guy that hit a lot of foul balls into the seats,
yeah,
you were going to play.
They couldn't afford it. Now, Cubs weren't that much different.
Yeah. Here's the payoff pitch, and he hits this one on a one-hopper to Owens. Here's Duffy.
We had a guy in the stands in Chicago that had a pad, a piece of paper, and if you threw a ball in the stands to fans, $5. Cost you $5.
Oh, I know. It certainly isn't like that anymore.
You're encouraged to include the fans.
Duffy skies this one to center field. A lot of room out there for Pollock. And that'll bring up Angel Pagan. Grandpa brought his glove.
Mitch Reagan, who directs the Diamondbacks broadcast, that's his mom, Ruth. Got a chance to meet her today. Big baseball fan. And her significant other.
Here's Pagan, who's 0 for 3. Pagan reaches, it'll be Buster Posey. Giants lead 3-1. Pagan a bit out in front. He evens the count at a ball and a strike.
Yeah, this is one of the best nights for command that we've seen Daniel Hudson have. I mean, he's really pounding the strike zone with a lot of movement, controlling that changeup. Except for that pitch.
Broadcaster's jinx.
Well, when he was a starter, he would get inconsistent with his arm slot, and he would oftentimes throw with his elbow below his shoulder, really stressed out that elbow. You know, we mentioned he broke it down twice, having to have Tommy John surgeries twice.
Down the left field line, fair. And Pagan's got a double.
We've really seen some nice opposite field hitting tonight by the Giants left-handers. Aoki, Pagan, Crawford to take the sinkers that are moving away from him, stay inside it, and throw it down the left field line. Pagan did not have a good spring, but right around the last 7 days, he said he's starting to feel good in his hands. And boy, has he started out hot.
His 4th double this year. Buster Posey is 0 for 2. And he had a great at bat with the bases loaded in the 4th, only to hit a bullet right at Goldschmidt. Oh and 1 to Buster Posey.
Ooh. Good breaking ball, did not miss by much. I don't know if I'd take that pitch at a 2-strike count. That's how close that was.
Goldschmidt did yesterday. 1 ball and 1 strike. Posey high into left center field. Is this going to be run down? It will be by Peralta, and that'll end the inning. The big fellas are coming up. It's 3-1 Giants.
Bay Area is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com and by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. You can watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD every night. On every device, you get look-ins, real-time highlights, and much more. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Here's Goldschmidt. Swing and a miss. Goldschmidt struck out and walked. Peralta on deck. And then Trumbo.
Good pitch.
1 ball and 1 strike.
That was kind of like the second pitch that Posey saw in his at bat against Hudson.
Way outside.
Heston has been solid. He hasn't missed many times up above the strike zone. When he's missed with all of his stuff, it's been below the strike zone. It's important when you're a sinker baller.
That's deep to right. And that's off the top of the wall. Goldschmidt is going to stop at second. And that's a leadoff double.
One thing about Goldschmidt, I mean, he's got to swing very much like Buster Posey. He stays inside a ball so well with power. And it's an ideal swing to beat a sink. And I don't know if this ball hits the top of the fence or if it hits off the glove of Maxwell. Maxwell almost comes up catching this ball. But this nut is roasted. It just hit off the thumb. So the Giants catch a break and then it stays in the yard.
Here's Peralta, who picked up the first hit in the game for the Diamondbacks back in the 4th inning. He had a line drive to center field. Low and away. Second inning in a row, the Diamondbacks have opened up the inning with a double. Trumbo on deck. There's a strike.
Oh, that front door sink. That's his big time movement. Peralta saw that out of the hand. He was convinced that's a ball. And no, you cannot give up on sink. It's coming back into that strike zone by way of the front door if you're hitting off him from the left side.
Good breaking ball.
He was not looking for that. And I do think you impress a guy when you come by way of the front door with a sink. I mean, he's got to be thinking about that fastball. I like that call from Sanchez. You could back foot slider him. It really is a strikeout situation. Runner at second, nobody out.
And he goes around. No.
That was a perfect pitch down in the dirt with a breaking ball. This is close. All right, let's take a look to the side. Did he go? No, he did not.
Not even close. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that gets away from Sanchez. So 390 feet for Goldschmidt.
I tried to go back in, front door sinking. It's just this ball really explodes on Sanchez and he boxes it. Show late. And he just did get a thumb on this thing. I should really call it a box job on it.
Off the end of the bat, foul. It stays 3-2.
Jeremy Affeldt heading over to the mound, start stretching it out. 80 pitches into the night for Chris Heston, who's been outstanding.
Got him.
But he shook off to get to that pitch. Sanchez called a sinker away. Heston shook it off. He called a curveball. He shook it off. He wanted to throw that 3-2 changeup. And I'll tell you what, you cannot throw a better one. Beautiful pitch. Gets Peralta reaching. And Peralta has to head back to the D-back dugout. A strikeout victim.
I don't know if he'd even thrown one of those to him.
Well, I don't think he's throwing many in the game. To throw it 3-2, that's a big time pitch.
Here's Trumbo. Trumbo takes down low that first pitch breaking ball. He's bounced out to Crawford and he's struck out. There's Machi and Affeldt. Two 2-0.
They have the 2-run lead. I mean, you do not want to start walking people. So this is a big pitch for Heston.
Swing. And a miss.
He's not afraid to throw anything in a fastball count. We saw the 3-2 changeup, strike 3 to Peralta. Here in a 2-0 pitch, he goes another breaking ball. Not giving into the fastball.
Tap foul, so it's 2-2.
3 off-speed pitch, and then they explode him in with a fastball on the hands. Taking his time, controlling the rhythm of the inning.
To the backstop, and Goldschmidt scores.
Probably going to be a pass ball. Tried to backdoor him with the sinker. Throws it a little wide. They set the target wide. You can see how wide they are. And this ball has to be caught. That's a pass ball.
So it's 3-2. Tapped slowly. Crawford's going to get to it and make the play. The official score has ruled it a wild pitch, but that's a bad call.
That's not a wild pitch.
Third baseman, Jake.
Well, if you're a pitcher and they ask you at the end of the game, you say, absolutely wild pitch. You protect your catcher. But that's one that Hector Sanchez will tell you that he should have had.
So here's Lamb.
Good changeup. Same one he threw 3-2 to Peralta. Opens it up here with Lamb, who's been really the hottest hitter on this D-backs team in this series.
Oh, 0-2.
Good place for it. I mean, gets an 0-1 advantage. Drop back curveball down below the strike zone. Get him to swing. There really hasn't been anything that hasn't been working for Heston tonight.
High fastball, 1-2.
Tried to change sightlines.
Over by the D-backs dugout, and McGee's going to put it away. Diamondbacks pick up a run. It's now a 1-run lead for the Giants. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Giants with a 3-2 lead through 6 innings. Heston's been terrific. Crawford's got a couple of hits. Hellickson, well, he got outs when he needed to get outs, but he did allow 3 runs, and Goldschmidt just doubled off the glove of Justin Maxwell in right field, and then eventually scored. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
Randall Delgado, the new pitcher now for the Diamondbacks. These are his numbers last year. 86 strikeouts in 77 2/3 innings. Tells you he has good stuff. You're going to see low to mid 90s velocity on a fastball. He will 2 and 4 seam. Got a curveball, slider, changeup. I mean, he's got the stuff you would see from a starter, and all of it can strike you out.
So here's McGee, who doubled in the 5th. This is pretty unbelievable. Adrian Gonzalez has hit his 3rd home run of the night.
That's 5 home runs already
on the season.
3 games. Wow.
He leads the league.
He should.
There's a strike to McGee and a quick 0-2. All 3 have been hit off of Andrew Kashner.
That's not that easy to do.
Well, they're in the 5th inning. He's going to get maybe 1 or 2 more at bats in that game. So McGee finds himself behind in the count. Bounces this one, cut off by Owings. And McGee is out 4-3. And here's Maxwell. Maxwell singled in the 3rd. He's 1 for 3. He's bounced out to second twice.
They've been crowded with hard stuff most of the night.
Two 2-0 to Maxwell.
And there's a 1-0 slider. Watch Maxwell in batting practice today, and he was launching him. Lots of power.
High drive to left. Peralta in front of the wall, and he makes the catch.
Just got up the bat ever so much, and it took it off the sweet spot, and that's what kept it in the yard.
There aren't many that are caught at the wall here.
No. I thought, even though he didn't catch all of it, as strong as he is, he might still be able to knock it out of here. Fastball up and in, just up the bat a little bit.
Here's Crawford.
He was measuring it off. I think he felt he may have had a chance on it too.
Crawford's 2 for 3. Crawford pops it up. This will be shallow center field. And Pollock will put it away. 7th inning stretch time. It's 3-2 Giants. to see which pinch hitter was going to be announced by Chip Hale. It was Aaron Hill, a right-handed hitter. So that's when he called in Gene Machi. So a nice welcome for Heston, as he did a fabulous job.
Well, he really was a difference maker in tonight's ball game so far. And you know what? Let's take a look at some of the highlights, and there you see the line: 6 innings strong, 3 hits allowed, 2 runs. Really, both of them should have been unearned. And he struck out 5, but really great movement and location with the fastball. He showed a good breaking ball, didn't make many mistakes up, and he also showed a good changeup. All pitches that were swing and miss type pitches. And there's the changeup that we were so impressed with, as was David Peralta. So what do you say we make Chris Heston the player of the game? It's brought to you by Honda, and I think for a debut and for a guy who gets called up to take the place of Matt Cain, who got put on the disabled list, I think he handled himself beautifully. Our Honda player of the game.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
Gene Machi, the new pitcher now for the Giants. See what he did last year, 7-1 with a 2.51 ERA. 71 times he came into games. 51 strikeouts and 66 in the thirds. With Machi, you get low to mid-90 fastball, a little nickel slider, and a forkball. And you like the strikeouts, 51 against the 18 walks. He's a strike thrower. So he inherits a 1-run lead, and they're going to try and preserve it now for the rook, Chris Heston.
Yeah, pass ball now has been charged to Hector Sanchez. So Heston not charged with an earned run. So Machi to face Aaron Hill as we start the bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch low. Hill is 3 for 8 on the season. Pennington and then Pacheco. And a base hit.
Now, Aaron Hill had lost his job as an everyday player, and he was labeled the utility player in this team. I don't think he really enjoyed that label, because he's been swinging the bat pretty well in this series.
He just happened to have pretty good numbers against Bumgarner, pretty good numbers against Vogelsong. There's Pennington, who doubled in the 5th inning.
So no earned runs allowed by Heston.
Machi trapped it.
Well, if you're going to make that play right there, you've got to throw the ball to first base.
Absolutely.
I like the idea, but I don't understand why he held the ball. Dave McKay, the first base coach for the Diamondbacks, was screaming at Aaron Hill to get back to the bank, and that's a good play. What you count on, if you have that pop-up right there, is that runner going. And he's really in a rock and a hard place as he drops right there. Machi's got to throw that ball to first. So they get the force, and Aaron Hill is retired. So a failed attempt at a bunt, but a nice job by Dave McKay.
Here's Pacheco. Pacheco had his lone at bat in the 5th inning and bounced back to Chris Heston. Down low. On deck is A.J. Pollock.
Check that runner. If they can't get the bunt down, you know it really opens up a steal situation. And Pennington can steal you a base.
And tight, 2 balls and no strikes.
Chappelle got his first win last night as the skipper of the D-backs. But he likes the running game. I mean, he likes back control guys, likes to put plays on.
Hit to right. And Maxwell will put it away.
Well, now the leadoff hitter coming up. This really is a go time for Pennington. If he is successful, he puts himself in scoring position with 2 outs. If he's not, you get to lead off next inning with your leadoff hitter. Machi's got a good pickoff move, and he is quick out of the stretch. He will give Hector Sanchez a chance to throw him out.
Pollock hit by a pitch to open up the bottom of the first, and then Heston struck him out in the third and got him on a ground ball in the 5th. High, 1 ball and no strikes. 21,642 here tonight. On the ground, McGee's got it. Across the diamond, in time. Nice play. And that'll end the inning. It's always a wrestling match on ground balls in this ballpark.
They get on you so quick, and this ball was hit hard. They were guarding the line, and it's a good thing. Nice play, Casey McGee.
8th inning coming up.
That game tomorrow night on TV. It is a 3:30 first pitch. Pregame live at 3 p.m. It's right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Giants going to take on the Pods, the first of 4. It'll be Tim Hudson on the hill for the Giants, taking on right-hander Ian Kennedy. So join us if you would, right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area, the home of your world champion Giants.
Giants leading 3-2, and it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change in Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
Evan Marshall, see his numbers from last year, a good solid season. 54 strikeouts, 49 and a third. You're going to see a low to mid-90s fastball, hard slider, and a changeup.
Low to Hector Sanchez. Joe Panik is on deck. Marshall threw an inning yesterday, threw 10 pitches, and it was a perfect inning. Hit on the ground sharply, and it's under the glove of Owens. I'm telling you, I don't care how good you are on this infield, it'll make you think.
Well, Owens is a good set of hands. It just gets on you. No chance to get your body in front of it. So he tries to play back on it, and by then you become defensive, and it's too late. It's by you.
I would lose sleep if I had to play in this infield. I would. It would drive me nuts.
Well, you played all those years for Cleveland, and you trained in Tucson. That was a rock-hard infield.
Still better than this.
I've never seen you cringe so much, partner, as when we come here because of this infield.
And, you know, the infields in those days weren't nearly as good as they're tailored now. Did they rule that a hit?
I believe they have. Yep, base hit, scoring decision. Mike Harkey, the pitching coach, coming out there. You know what he's telling Marshall? You did your job. You got the ground ball. Now get another one.
Yeah, it'll be Gregor Blanco, not Joe Panik.
It is a bunt situation. Giants would love to get one more run at least of insurance going into these last 2 innings.
Blanco 1 for 8. See if Bruce Bochy has him trying to lay one down here. It's got to be pretty good with the lack of speed at first. And that's foul.
Well, they did kind of a bunt run the last time Sanchez was on at first base. They started him. It's because he knows he doesn't have great speed. Giants have 4 bench players, but really they have 3 tonight, with Brandon Belt nursing a sore groin that he injured in last night's ball game. Really not going to be used tonight. So Bochy does not have a lot of moves. Those throwers to first base are being called by the Diamondbacks bench just to see if Blanco will tip his hand to the bunt. Brandon Belt. Dave Greshner on the right, Giants head trainer.
So does the guy that's hurt always have to stay by the trainer?
Yep. It's like he has a leash on.
Hey, Dave, can I go to the bathroom? Well, let me think about it.
No.
Matt King, look at. He's on the DL.
All
Right
the
by
hurt
the
guys.
trainer.
You hang around Mother Greshner.
Cordier, DL. 1-1 to Blanco. Blanco lifts it to left. And it'll be Peralta who makes the catch. So no bunt and a fly ball, and here's Nori Aoki.
Left fielder Nori Aoki.
On base 3 times tonight. A 2-hit night with a walk. He's really off to a nice start in a Giants uniform, hitting .385. 5 for 13 in his first 3 games. As you see, Sergio Romo heating up. He will pitch the 8th inning.
Matt Duffy's on deck. This is the 8th. In tight, 2 balls and no strikes.
Change up. They want that pitch to go on the outside corner. I like the setup of Aoki. I mean, he almost takes the barrelhead and points it back at the pitcher. Kind of sets up in a buggy whip fashion before he drops into a good position with his hands once that front foot goes down. It's a generous strike. Diamondbacks are taking Peralta, the left fielder, and they're shading him on the line in defense of Aoki.
Well, when you hit 12 foul balls down the left field line, it's probably going to happen.
Why not?
This is tapped foul, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's been Hellickson, Hudson, Delgado, and Marshall.
You know, Aoki's got a little pop in his bat. Now, I know he only hit 1 last year, but Kansas City's not an easy ballpark to hit him out of. He had 10 with Milwaukee in 2012, and he had 20 for Yakult in Japan in 2007. And this is a live yard.
And a quiet one. 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Hit on the ground into right field, a base hit. Sanchez will stop at second.
Nice at bat. Stay hot, Nori Aoki. They're going to love you in San Francisco. Set the target on the outside corner. It goes middle in, and then to protect the boat, he just drops the head on it, finds a hole in the right side. And that's what contact hitters do.
Here's Duffy. Duffy with a couple of hits. And Duffy takes a strike. Did not see a fastball on that first pitch.
Yeah, he wouldn't sit on a breaking ball either.
Duffy's pretty aggressive on that first pitch if it's a fastball. Out of play.
Tell you, Evan Marshall is not really hitting the target, but he's basically effectively wild. I mean, that wound up being a pretty good pitch at 94 above the hands, middle in. They set that target away.
A quick 0-2 to Duffy. Got him.
Not seeing the spin on that breaking ball. An 0-2 curveball, and really one that was up, absolutely locks him up.
Center fielder Angel Pagan.
So here's Pagan. Pagan doubled in the 6th inning. Here he takes a pitch high. 1-0. Look, you're down to what? 2 extra guys now?
Yep.
And if you wanted to really pinch run for Hector Sanchez, you really can't.
Can't do it.
Tapped slowly. And that one in. Bottom of the 8th coming up. We'll see Romo. It's 3-2 Giants.
Fans, it's time to take a look at tonight's game.
Giants post-game live. Highlights, reaction, and analysis. It's all coming up right after the game. A 3-2 lead for the Giants. And a new pitcher.
So Sergio Romo's going to come on for the Giants here to pitch the bottom of the 8th. He's going to face the heart of the base. This is what he did last year, 6-4 with a 3.72 ERA. Sergio had 23 saves last year. 4-pitch guy, 2 types of fastball, slider, a no-dot slider, and a changeup.
And it'll be Chris Owings to bat first. He's 0 for 3. Owens, Goldschmidt, and Peralta. Swing and a miss. Fastball right out of the gate. No balls and 1 strike.
2-seam movement coming into that backdoor side. Edgar Blanco stays in the game. He's now in left field.
Swing and a miss. Nothing in 2.
Standing in that outside corner. Backdoor sinker, follows it up with a nice little slider.
Sanchez setting up way off the plate. And Owens never saw it.
Well, that's the beauty of a no-dot slider. Normally you see a little red eye on the spin of the baseball that tips you off that the slider's coming, but you don't get that with a Romo. The spin on it is a bigger circle and it just doesn't tip the pitch. And Owings never saw it, as you said, partner.
So here's Goldschmidt. He's got decent numbers against Romo, 4 for 13. Romo has struck him out 3 times. And the first pitch is down and in. A fastball, 1 ball and no strikes. Too high.
We saw what Goldsmith could do to the opposite field. I mean, he almost flipped one out of here in his last at bat. I mean, he's just not one guy where you can pitch one way or one side of the plate. You have to make good location pitches. You got to mix movement. You got to mix speed.
Duffy will spin and throw. Got him. 2 down.
Now Duffy comes up as a shortstop. Now this is different footwork on a play for a second baseman.
Well, all he's got to do, Mike, is he just gets to take his time. At short, you really got to speed things up, and you got to put a lot on the throw. He didn't have to do any of that. Just take your time, pick up your target, and make the throw. Even though it is the most difficult position to play on the field.
Said by an ex-second baseman.
I realized that while I was describing that, it made it sound like anybody could play there.
Hey, you got to give yourself a little more credit over there. Well, he plays second base like he's been out there for a long time.
No, he really does a nice job there. Crawford. Posey. Yeah! A strikeout and 2 ground balls, and Buster Posey is going to lead things off as we head to the 9th. Post Game Live right here in Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Amy G from Phoenix will give you some insight. Alex Pavlovich, he'll do the same. And then don't mess with Tiger and Jack in the Masters Par 3 contest. That's all coming up. Here's Posey against Marshall. Posey fouls it back.
Yeah, Jack Nicklaus had a hole-in-one today.
He did.
How about that? And he called it.
Come on.
Yeah.
You don't call a hole-in-one, do you?
Oh, he's giving an interview. He says, you know what? I'm going to try and hit one today. And lo and behold, first time he's ever done it at Augusta. Good pitch. Just a bit outside. Great time of year if you're a sports fan. Baseball season starts. You got the Masters that just finished up with the NC2A basketball tournament, men and women's.
In tight to Posey. Posey into right center field. Is this going to hang up? Well, it hung up, but not enough for Trumbo to get to.
Well, Trumbo plays deep, and he plays especially deep for guys with power like Posey. So he is going to create some opportunity for balls that drop in front of him. So Giants have done a great job all night long getting the leadoff hitter on, and once again they do that.
McGee is 1 for 4. He did score the last run for the Giants in the 5th inning. Out of play.
Santiago Casilla down in the Giants bullpen finishing off his warm-up throws. He will pitch the 9th.
McGee with a foul off the backstop, and it's now 0-2. Driven to left. Back is Peralta. It is out of here. The first one of the year for Casey McGee. I'll bet that one felt pretty good for him.
Yeah, it did. Talk about the importance of McGee getting off to a good start. Being raised in the Bay Area, being a Giants fan, and this is going to help right here, get him to the comfort zone. And he beats a pitch middle in. And one thing about Casey McGee, he is quick to that side of the plate. They set up inside. This is right to the glove, and he stays inside and just hits a 2-iron right out of here. Backspins a line drive. He's a short arm swinger, and boy, he can cover the inside part, and that is a big swing of the bat. Giants fans got to do a better job of catching that ball.
2 Giants fans.
I'm a little disappointed.
Somebody's got to call it, don't they?
Spring training's over. You got to make that play.
Either that or let one of the ladies catch it, for crying out loud.
I think that's what they're telling them too.
So Chip Hale's going to get the ball from Marshall. We're going to take a break. McGee's home run makes it 5-2 Giants, and we'll be back. McGee.
Yeah. The pitcher now for the Diamondbacks will be Oliver Perez. Take a look at the year he had last year. Good season, 76 strikeouts and 58 2/3. Basically a two-pitch guy. But the two pitches are a low to mid 90-mile-an-hour fastball and a slider, and he can give you some funkiness with his motion, and he can also quick pitch you. So you've got to be ready for anything that he might do to try and upset your timing. He definitely is pretty creative out there. And for Casey McGee, hits his first home run in a Giants uni. And that's a big 2 runs to increase the lead to 3 runs.
So here's Maxwell, who's 1 for 4. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Well, here's where you really have to be ready, because I mean, a quick pitch is just a straight step, no motion, no leg lift, just step and go. And Perez does it as good as anybody, well, in the game now. But I mean, you can compare him to anybody. That's how good his quick pitch is. LaTroy Hawkins does it.
Very high to right for Trumbo. 1 out.
Talking about it so much, I hope he does it just so we can see it, show it.
Crawford 2 for 4 tonight. He's knocked in a run.
And there's the slider. First saw Perez come up 10 years ago with the Padres. And they used him as a starter. And at times he was brilliant.
Yeah.
But once he got moved to the bullpen, I mean this is going to extend his career. He'll go a while. Especially with some of the funkiness he could give you with that motion.
Crawford fouls it back. He had a pretty good rip at that inside corner fastball.
That last time he lifted the leg up and kind of held it there. And that's not that easy to do, to have a bunch of different motions. You have to, I mean, you're messing with your release point. But for him, it's not an issue. We'll even see him drop down at times.
On the ground is short, and Pennington will make the play. And the switch hitting Hector Sanchez is going to hit.
Hector Sanchez.
A couple of hits tonight for Hector Sanchez.
And that was the quick pitch we were just looking at. Now watch the high leg kick, I would imagine. Yep, there's the high leg kick. I think the quick pitch is more effective in a 2-strike than a first pitch.
Into center field for Pollock. And that'll end the inning. Giants score a pair on the Casey McGee home run. And it's bye-bye baby. 5-2 Giants.
New pitcher now for the Giants will be the closer, Santiago Casilla. 19 saves last year, 3-3 with a 1.70 ERA. Got the save in Game 1 of this series.
So Trumbo's going to lead things off. It'll be Trumbo, Lamb, and then a pinch hitter. Always good on that first pitch strike from Casilla.
It really does calm him down. It calms a lot of guys down, but over the years of watching Casilla, it seems that once he gets in that strike zone early, you know he's going to have command. Nice to face Trumbo, too, a guy with great power when you've got a 3-run lead rather than a 1-run lead.
That's a fact.
Importance of that swing of the bat from Casey McGee.
Trumbo is 0 for 3, a couple of ground balls to Crawford and a strikeout. 0-2.
Fastball inside corner. He was not looking fastball in the 0-1 count.
Ooh. Overthrow, 1-2.
Yeah, they tried to elevate the fastball. I'm not sure Casilla's heart was in it entirely, but that was really a wasted pitch because that doesn't do much to set anything up. Easy take. You don't like to give easy takes in 0-2 counts.
.94 in on the hands of Trumbo.
Nice job of getting in there tight. Trumbo with 2 hits this year, both triples. I can't say I saw that coming.
No. That's a fact. Tap foul.
I mean, this is a ballpark where you can see some triples, but Trumbo's not really built for it.
Three putouts for Trumbo.
Giants trying to win their 9th consecutive series in a row against the Diamondbacks. In Arizona.
In the desert. Here's Lamb. And Lamb bounces out to Duffy, who almost had that one squirt under his glove.
A little bit of a wrestling match there for Matt Duffy. Hey, when in doubt, take a knee, right?
When in doubt, just throw your body in front of it.
I think Buster Posey just went over and called him.
Inciarte is going to pinch hit. That would be Ender Inciarte. And to the back foot, 1 ball and no strikes. Chris Heston was fabulous tonight. You see him right in the middle of your screen in the back row.
Well, he was, as advertised, and he looked ready to contribute at this level.
Started out a little weird for him.
Yeah, hit batsman, then a throwing error, put a runner at third. I mean, 2 runs that he gave up were both unearned. But from what we saw tonight, I can't wait to see him out there again in 5 days. And you will see him out there in 5 days. He may be the guy that opens it up for the Giants back in San Francisco.
So it's 2-1 to Inciarte. 2-2.
For Heston, I mean, he's 1 out away from his first win at the big league level. 1 strike away.
And that's a base hit down the left field line. Blanco will keep it to a single. And the hitter will be Pennington. Pennington is 1 for 3. And he takes down low. Pennington's had 4 lifetime at bats against Garcia, and he's 1 for 4.
Tim Hudson on your left, talking to the Rook.
Inciarte is going to go, and nobody cares. And it's a called strike, and immediately Hector Sanchez goes out.
Well, I think the message is going to be simple. That guy out there at second base doesn't exist. Don't worry about him. Interesting, you see Hudson on the left there with 214 lifetime wins. Heston trying to get his first one.
Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Good curveball.
Got him, and that's the ball game. Blocked by Sanchez. Posey steps on first, and a big congratulations to that kid right there.
Well, Chris Heston was spectacular. 6 really strong innings, and more than that, I mean, it really has calmed the waters here with the problems to the rotation so early in the year. He was spectacular tonight.